It's a beautiful feeling to be here. I got to travel 2 hours for another event in a while. And I said I could not miss this wonderful event with my St. Lucian brethren. Amen? All right, so I'm going to give you a short Emma and Henry concert because you need to let them understand that St. Lucia got gospel talent. How many of you have heard about Kingdom Night? Let me see you wave your. All right. All right, are you ready? Somebody scream! Rafik, this is just a test. Everybody wave your hand like this. Wave your hand, wave your hand. St. Lucia, how you feeling? Say why? Say why, yo, yo. Say why? Let me see you wave your flags, everybody. Wave your flag, wave your flag. Somebody scream. Oh, la, 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 la. This is just a warm-up. Everybody push up on the hand there. Up there. Red. Everybody hands up. Blue, white, black, and yellow. Hands there. Hands there. If you're from St. Lucia, wave yard. Wave yard. Wave yard. You ready? Next track. Run the next track. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, yeah. St. Lucia. I hear the sound of revival. The sound of revival. The sound of revival. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? I hear the sound of revival. The sound of revival. The sound of revival. Can you hear it? Hands up, hands up. Blind eyes opening. Chains are falling. We've been waiting, anticipating. The children of God will arrive, blowing the trumpet again, declaring the way for the King as a prophet. Everybody push up and on. The sound of revival. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? The great awakening. Everybody put your blue, white, black, and flag in the air. The sound. Wave yard. Holy Ghost. Hey, stop the track. Stop the.
Please have a National Affairs. Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, Minister of Health, honorable organizations, fellow St. Lucians, friends of St. Lucia.
Thank you. We thank you, God, for this one ministers. We thank you, God, for taking us home safe and sound and bringing us here safe, God. We pray that you continue to cover us. Lord, we love our beautiful island of St. Lucia. As I'm praying, God, we pray over our island. We declare, God, the peace of God, the prosperity of God, the favor of God over our island. And we thank you, God, for this wonderful time. In Jesus' name, everybody say,
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Can you please sit? For persons who are asking for the live, there's a QR code right there. You can scan to your phone and send it to the persons you want to send it to. Now for the national anthem of the United States of America, we call on Mr. Joseph Marty. Can you stand, please? Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming?
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the rampant we watch was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Together, let's sing the St. Lucia National Anthem. Sons and daughters of St. Lucia, love the land that gave us birth, land of beaches, hills and valleys, fairest soil of all the earth. Wheresoever you may roam, love, oh love, our island home. Gone the times when nation battle for this Helen of the West. Gone the days when strife and discord deem our children's toil and rest. Dawns at last a brighter day, stretches out a glad new way. May the good Lord bless our island, guard our sons from all and harm. May our people live united, strong in soul and strong in arm. Justice, truth, and charity, our ideal forever be.
Please have a seat. At this time, we're going to have a special rendition from our gospel ambassador, Emran Henry.
Amen. All right, stand up again. Y'all don't want to stand up? All right, play this. You're last. Play this song, Whoa! Everybody, let me see a hand like this. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Put your hands up in the air. I'm living my best life. Don't worry about me. I'm living my best life. I give God the glory. I'm living my best life. Don't worry about me. I'm living my best life. Whoa! Listen. Disappointments, problems, all that I've been through gave me a reason to praise Him. God never leave me, even in the hard times, tough times. God, you have favored me. I know you love me. I know you. Everybody put your hands up. I'm living my best life. Don't worry about me. I'm living my best life. I give God the glory. I'm living my best life. Don't worry about me. I'm living my best life. Hey, I give God the glory. Listen, some took advantage, smite me, never believed in me. So many mock me, use me, even deceive me. They see my glory, they don't know my story. They see my glory, don't know my story. I'm living my best life. Everybody wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag. I'm living my best life. Hey, I'm living my best life. Hey, I'm living my best life. Whoa, I'm living my. Somebody shout hallelujah. Hold up the track. Stop it, stop it, stop it. All right. Now, I gotta go in a while, but I just want to say something. I want to thank God. I know it's not a political meeting, but I want to thank God for the Prime Minister. All right. I remember a couple years ago, I was always on the phone with God. Because as St. Lucia's gospel artist, I travel all over the world. And everybody's always asking, what is happening in St. Lucia when it comes to gospel? And I used to be on the phone with a lot of the top gospel artists and say, man, we just want ourselves. Until a couple years, in 2023, I think. Hallelujah. God opened the door for us to get a stage for ourselves. And it was at Kingdom Night. Come on, somebody. So I just want to say, Mr. Prime Minister, this song is for you. This is not y'all singing it, but I'm singing it for him. So if I gotta get any flack, I'll get it for myself. Run the track for me. Run the track. Run it. No, not this one. Not this one. The next one. Oh mama, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh mama, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh na na na. You wanna hear this song? You wanna hear it? Oh na na. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Prime Minister, listen. You are a man on a mission. Want to stay closer to your father. I don't care who don't like you, don't like you. I will sing, mama, only fire. Mr. Prime Minister, listen to this. 1, 2, 3. Anywhere you go, I will follow you. Pull off! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Listen to me. If I gotta get any flag, oh God, run it again. Run it again. Everybody stand up, stand up, stand up. Oh mama, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh na na, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Wave your flag in the air. Listen. He's a man on a mission. Want to stay closer to his father. I don't care, Mr. Prime Minister, who don't like you, don't like you. I will sing, mama, only fire. Brooklyn, put your hand up in the air. Anywhere you go, I will follow you. Anywhere you go, follow you. Anywhere you go, I will follow you. Anywhere you go, follow. Mr. Prime Minister, listen. See the vex, just because you're so blessed. We don't beg. Father God provided. Yes, he said he will never forsake me. That is why, Brooklyn, you ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. Lift your anywhere you come, I'm gonna follow you. Somebody scream. Somebody sing. Hands in the air. Everybody hands up there. Levez-les-mains. 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 Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Now give me the last song. The last song. I gotta go to it. Oh, yes, the last song. The last song. Hold on. So I'm always, watch this. Shh. I'm always watching, you know, their lives. And how before the Prime Minister comes, they play one of my favorite gospel songs. So I always say, anytime Prime Minister is in my territory, he don't need a backing track. St. Lucia's gospel music ambassador will sing this song for him. So I gotta go in Long Island 2 hours to do another event. But I'm gonna end with this song. And Mr. Prime Minister, this is our favorite song. Run it. Yeah, yeah. To you, let my heart be changed, renewed, flowing from the grace that I found in me. Hey, Lord, I've come to know the weaknesses I see in thee will be stripped away by the power of your love. Everybody sing the chorus with me. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, be close. Let your love surround me. Bring me there. Draw me to your side. Oh. And I wait, rise up like the kingdom is all with you. Your spirit lead me on, the power of your love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lord, unveil my eyes. Let me see you face to face the knowledge of your love as you lay in me. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Lord, renew my mind as your will unfolds in my life. In living every day, yeah, yeah, by the power. Everybody put your hand up. Hey, sing with me. Lead me near, draw me to your side, and I'll wait. I'll rise up like the your spirit lead me on by the power of your love. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Emran Henry, and I just want to shake the hands of my favorite Prime Minister. Thank you very much. I pray on him. Come on, somebody, give him a round of applause. And before I live 5 more years.
Thank you so much, Herman. Thank you so very much. Just want to make an announcement that we are also live and on Can I Help You? That's on Richard Frederick's Facebook page, the Honorable Richard Frederick's Facebook page, Can I Help You? I would now like to welcome our Consul General of New York, the Honorable Jeremiah Hyacinth, to share some words with you.
Bonsoir tout le monde. The Prime Minister will be on shortly. Okay, sure. I'll be very brief. So on behalf, are we ready? Okay. So on behalf of the Consulate General of St. Lucia in New York, I am honored to welcome our beloved Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, and his cabinet colleagues to the most vibrant St. Lucian community in the diaspora. Honorable Prime Minister, we've truly missed your usual visit in September, but we are delighted that you have chosen to join us on this special occasion, especially as we approach the festive season and the upcoming general elections in St. Lucia. We are deeply grateful. Okay. We are deeply grateful for your unwavering commitment and willingness to engage the St. Lucian community abroad. The feedback we've received from our diaspora is a testament to the positive impact of your leadership and your policies. Tonight's forum offers a unique opportunity for our community to engage with you and your panel of ministers on a range of important issues. We look forward to a productive and engaging dialogue. So, with that, I warmly welcome everyone to this, a conversation with the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Thank you.
For persons who are standing, I think you could grab a seat if you can, please. Thank you so much. Would like to welcome our next artist on stage. Them doing Bon Lucian Consulate.
Lucian Massive, how you feeling? Excuse me. This is your boy Consulate, and I'm happy to be here alongside with my Prime Minister of St. Louis. All right, run the track, DJ. I'm a born Lucian, and I'm proud of where I'm from. Look how we having fun tonight, and everything is just right. Pull up that dude, pull up. I want to see everybody standing up. I want everybody to stand up. All right? Hold on 1 second, DJ. On the count of 3.
I want everybody to sing this song with all your heart because we are born proud Lucian. All right? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm a born. Wave your flag, wave your flag. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. Run it, DJ.
I'm a born Lucia, and I'm proud of where I'm from. Look how we having fun tonight, and everything is just right. We are the Helen of the West, that's why we different from the rest. I love to be a Lucian, and I'm proud of where I'm from.
Fond memories never fade. This country means so much to me. Everywhere I go, I take a place with me. She's the Helen of the West. Her loving people are the best. I love to be a Lucian. Let me hear you sing.
I'm a born Lucia, and I'm proud of where I'm from. Look how we having fun tonight, and everything is just right. We are the Helen of the West, that's why we're different from the rest. I love to be a Lucian, and I'm proud of where I'm from.
Lucian Massive, let me hear you scream. No matter where I may roam,
this land will always be my home. Such a loving place,
it can never be replaced. My love for her will never fade. For you and me a price was paid. I will always pray and love her until my... Let me hear you sing!
I'm a born Lucia, and I'm proud of where I'm from. Look how we having fun tonight, and everything is just right. We are the Helen of the West, that's why we're different from the rest. I love to be a Lucian, and I'm proud of where I'm from.
One more time, let me hear you sing!
I'm a born Lucian, and I'm proud of where I'm from. Look how we having fun tonight, and everything is just right. We are the Helen of the West, that's why we're different from the rest. I love to be a Lucian, and I'm proud of where I'm from.
Thank you! St. Lucia, I love you! Peace!
Are you proud of where you're from? Let me hear it for St. Lucia. Thank you guys so much. At this time, we would like to welcome the Vice President of the St. Lucia House Foundation, Neva Polius.
Thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. After such excitement, I don't know if I can even give this speech. It was a lovely opening. Honorable Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Why is this thing falling? It keeps going down. Okay. Honorable Alva Romanos Baptiste, Minister for External Affairs. Honorable Moses J. Baptiste, Minister for Health. Honorable Richard Frederick, Minister for Housing. Her Excellency, Minister Rambali, St. Lucia's permanent representative to the United Nations. Honorable Jeremiah Hyacinth, Consul General, the Consulate General of St. Lucia in New York, heads of all foundation member organizations, our St. Lucian community, and friends of St. Lucia, welcome. I am Nivaja, the Vice President of the St. Lucia House Foundation, and I am here to extend greetings from the Foundation's President, Mr. Kieran de Turville, who is currently on island. As we gather here this evening to receive important information from our Prime Minister and Ministers of Government regarding our island, St. Lucia, I am proud to affirm that the St. Lucia House Foundation and all its registered organizations remain dedicated to supporting and promoting our country and fellow citizens. These organizations continue to serve as a beacon of support to those in need. Together, we can achieve remarkable things. We welcome the support from each one of you in this community, and we also make ourselves available to assist you should the need arise. We encourage you to contact the St. Lucia House Foundation with your concerns. As we approach the end of this year, we would like to invite you on December 13th to the St. Lucia House, where the National Day Committee and the St. Lucia House Foundation will be hosting our annual National Day event, the Festival of Lights. We will be presenting an exceptional show. It is a free event. All are welcome. Additionally, in February, there will be a series of independence celebrations commencing with the Miss St. Lucia USA Independence Pageant and concluding with our Independence Ball on Sunday, February 22nd. It will be a celebration to remember. We hope to see all of you there. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. May God bless our leaders and may God bless our beautiful island, St. Lucia.
Thank you, Vice President Nivaja. Thank you so very much. Now, the night would not be the night without some poetry, right? So we want to invite Miss Hyacinth de Leon to do a poem for us. Thank you.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Mais bonsoir. Lang maman mwen. Lang maman mwen se kweyol ek non I pa dwol, I freshman san bonbol, dou pase konsol, janti kon jantuyom an kamizol. Boav pase soldat sa pistol, kajewi kon fiksyon an fiol. fait mon oui comme yo fol, I ka défléchi comme vent en basel vol, ek détaillé zade sal bien wezol, ka fezye hele ek parole, one genou faible kon chandel mol, je oui maltête kon panadol. Ni pouvoir pour mener commune ensemble, janvier ka décembre, sans créole, blague pas même ni gamme, nom ka servi pour la lyrics à sous femme, créole ka brûlé con flamme, I ka fait tiriri ek sou sans homme. Empêcher division en parmi nom ek femme, ek fait yo marcher ensemble. Des mots qu'a fait ça qui n'était dit tan, I pas besoin pièce poto pour fan. Créole c'est vraiment Jéwision qui ka wan, ti pays noir kon yon, lang maman mwen.
Thank you so very much. We would like to extend our apologies to the individuals who are unable to get in the hall. We are so very sorry. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Minister Frederick to come up to the My apologies, guys. I now call on the Honorable Alva Romanas Jean-Baptiste, Minister of External Affairs, Internal Trade, Civil Aviation, and Diaspora Affairs.
Thank you very much. Good evening, fellow St. Lucians. I really enjoyed that poem. You know, Creole Padol. Latin monsieur Piol, qui moutan pied console. It obey adam pied prend goal like he did nothing at all. Prime Minister. Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Most Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre, our Minister with responsibility for health, the Honorable Moses Moussa Jean-Baptiste, Minister in the Prime Minister's office with responsibility for housing and local government, Honorable Richard Frederick, aka, can I help you? I want to recognize as well Ambassador Minister Rambali and the staff of the mission, our hard-working CG Jeremiah Hyacinth, and of course you, my fellow St. Lucians. Good evening. I recall when I came to the United Nations in September, Prime Minister could not have been here. And this is the time we normally meet with you, fellow St. Lucians, to discuss what is happening at home. And the Prime Minister promised that he was going to be here at some point, notwithstanding the fact that our country seemed to be in the rough and tumble of a general elections. And tonight, con la coutume, we are here to dialogue with you, here to answer your questions, and to, of course, have a night that would be pregnant with possibilities. So at this juncture, certainly, I have the distinct honor this evening. I am clothed with the important trust of introducing one of the planet's best prime ministers and ministers of finance. And if being a prime minister and minister for finance was similar to running on the tracks at Olympics, St. Lucia would definitely have a gold medal. Our prime minister is best known for his brilliant, astute, and visionary management of the economy and public finances of St. Lucia. And I say this without any fear of contradiction. To fully comprehend this mastery of his handling of the economy and financial management of our country, it is important for us to take our journey through the corridors of time. Not too long ago, he took over this country during COVID, and he was charged with the responsibility of having a full reopening of the economy, and of course, dealing with the Omicron as well as the Delta virus. And I think everybody remember the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus. They said it was traveling so fast because it had its own aircraft. When Prime Minister entered the corridors of power, he inherited an economy that was in shambles. And of course, the economy had contracted by approximately 25%, the sixth largest contraction in the entire world. Our debt to GDP was almost 100%. We had payables of 154 million. We have design finance contracts of 184.5 million. Millions owed to hotels that were used as quarantine facilities during COVID. Unemployment had skyrocketed to 21.7%, with youth unemployment at 38.25%. And of course, when we thought we were charting the post-COVID-19 trajectory, in comes the war in Ukraine that created higher inflation in the world, higher oil prices, and global supply side bottlenecks. Notwithstanding all of those challenges, PJP got down to business. And via a strategic, calibrated approach, implemented fiscal, economic, social, structural, and governance policies that took St. Lucia out of ICU. And of course, in record time, our country started to experience economic growth. We experienced 11.3%, 20.6%, 3.3%, 4.7% over the last 4 years, an extraordinary recovery by any measure. Unemployment has dropped to 10.8%, the lowest in St. Lucia's history. Inflation is under control, recorded at negative 0.5%. Public debt to GDP ratio has declined from 92.5% to 73.5%, demonstrating discipline and responsible fiscal management. Now, my brothers and my sisters of St. Lucia, I know that the Prime Minister will speak to some of his achievements this evening, but I cannot introduce a man who has done so much without adumbrating some of the key things that he did over this period of time. He reduced income tax by increasing the personal allowance from 18,000 to 25,000, removing 15,000 people from the tax roll and ensuring that 2/3 of all workers now pay less tax. He increased the minimum pension to $725 for former government employees and $500 for NIC pensioners, providing dignity to those who serve this nation. He granted wage increases to public officers, culminating in a 13% cumulative rise over a 6-year period, and paid $34.5 million in back pay, tax-free, to the workers of our country. He implemented a national minimum wage effective August 2024. And he maintained subsidies on basic items like rice, flour, sugar, LPG, and fuel for fishers. These measures represent an income transfer from government to the people. This is how a sensitive and sensible Prime Minister proceed with the business of the country. And I can go on and on tonight to speak about financing subjects at CXC level for St. Lucians. Very early in his term, he paid for 2 CXCs. And he said as the economy recovered, he would pay some more. He paid another 2. And the longer he stays there, the more CXCs he'll pay for the people of this country. So this is a government that don't just manage the economy, they touch the lives of the people of this country. And so St. Lucia has been experiencing real economic development. R for real, E for economic, and D for development. And that is red, my brothers and my sisters. And it should not surprise anybody that in St. Lucia today, the mood is definitely red. But you know, I have said before, and I will say it again. If you believe PJP 1.0 was revolutionary, wait for PJP 2.0. And again, while PJP stands for Philip Joseph Pierre, it stands for progress, justice, and prosperity. And fellow St. Lucians, I feel proud and honored to have a leader of leaders in St. Lucia leading us to the promised land, a better place for all of us, despite St. Lucia being a small, open, and vulnerable economy. And so it gives me great joy at this time to introduce and to welcome, to address you this evening, a champion of the people, the most honorable Philip Joseph Pierre. The mood is definitely red. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters.
Can I hold it? Just before I start, could I ask my colleagues to come join me in the front? Honorable. Comrades, comrades, let me dis a set lisi, yo ka fache. Depuis me kreye moun set lisi, comrades. You call rara. My brothers and sisters, good evening. Let me recognize my colleagues who have joined me here this evening, the Honorable Alva Romanus Baptiste, and thank him for his welcome. The Honorable Moses Jabatis. Moses is the Minister of Health. And very soon, Moses will preside over Isam, zon connaître ça fait, mais passez-moi. Zon connaître, passez-moi, ça qu'a fait cette ici. But apart from what you know, and I know, and he knows, Moses is doing an extremely good job in the Ministry of Health. Because I can assure you that healthcare, the cost of healthcare is cheaper in St. Lucia than in the United States. And before they misquote me, let me repeat what I said. I said the cost, C-O-S-T, is cheaper at home than in the United States. I did not say it was better. I said it was cheaper. Because I'm sure a blood test here, a regular blood test in the United States, is more expensive than a regular blood test at home. But Moses is introducing universal health care. And every man and woman in St. Lucia can get what is called the pre-testing. If you're a man, you can get your PSA at the health center free of charge. And if you are a woman, at the health center, because you know, they like to misquote me. And they like to say what I did not say. But I'm going to be very clear and deliberate tonight. Every woman in the health center, not at a private doctor, in the health center can get a pap smear free of charge. And every pregnant lady in the health center, I want to repeat, in the health centers, can get all their maternal care free of charge from the government of St. Lucia on the ministerial guidance of Moses Jabatis. And later, I will tell you what else is available in the health services in St. Lucia. And I want to also introduce the Honorable Richard Frederick. And you know, when I invited Richard to be in the cabinet, they don't understand how we work in the Labour Party. And that is why I tell them I'm a mystery. They do not understand how we work in the Labour Party. Nor they don't understand how we run the government. When Richard was invited to join the cabinet, we never spoke about party. We never spoke about the Labour Party or any party. We spoke about coming into the government to work for the people of St. Lucia. So Richard is working with the government for the people of St. Lucia. And I can tell you, if you go to St. Lucia now, as we speak, you can go to Talvan and you will see a modern housing complex being built under the Ministry of Housing and the National Housing Corporation under Richard. And if you go further, you will see what has happened in terms of vendors in St. Lucia. You will see how we've improved there. We have. And as we speak, you will see that Castries is being regenerated. The road, La Panse Road, is being resurfaced. It finished today. Next week, I haven't told him so as yet, because I can't tell them fellas all what I know. Next week, not Monday, next week. Next week, we are going to begin work on the sidewalks, still in the sidewalks by the market, and hopefully we can complete all the sidewalks. And Castries is a cleaner place. But the people must do their share. We must stop the littering, and we must ensure that we keep our city clean. But in Castries today, you will see the same thing you see downtown New York. A crane, hundreds of feet in the air, because we are building the Halls of Justice, one of the most modern buildings that will go up in Castries, making Castries a town, a city, causing Castries to be on the map with the Halls of Justice building that we are building in Castries. That is what developing a country is about. Raising the public sector investment in the country, and that is under Richard. But tonight, I want to be very brief because I need you to ask questions. Because you hear a lot of things. You have a lot of misinformation, a lot of nonsense. Let me be the first one to tell you, St. Lucia is not perfect. There is no perfect place in the world. I won't come and tell you St. Lucia has no issues. I won't come and tell you here that things could not be better in certain circumstances. Of course, things can be better in New York. Can't things be better in New York? Things can be better anywhere in the world. There is no perfect world. There never will be. Thank you, my brother. But what is happening is there's continuous improvement in St. Lucia, day after day, month after month, year after year. And I want you to compare St. Lucia in 2021, because they pretend as if St. Lucia only existed in 2021. Let me tell you what St. Lucia was in 2021. In 2021, the St. Lucian economy had declined by over 20%. What that means is if St. Lucia had $100, very simple, in 2021, it decreased to 20% of 100, which is 20, it became 80. It decreased. Of course, there was COVID. But St. Lucia decreased more. It was the 6th largest decrease in the entire world. The largest in the OECS. And I wasn't Prime Minister, I wasn't Minister of Finance, so you can't blame me. Wasn't me. That's what happened. That's a fact. And anything I tell you tonight, I want you to check it. fast yet. Because what I'm going to tell you is something that you can prove and see for yourself. St. Lucia was in economic decline. We had old suppliers, people who give the government credit, including NIC subscriptions, over $150 million. You know how much it is today? You know how much we owe suppliers today? Not zero yet, we're getting there. We owe suppliers today about $30 million. You know what the national debt of this country was in 2021? Some people say that's even more. But the national debt of St. Lucia was about 95%, and according to him, it could have been higher. Today, the national debt is 73.5%. You know what unemployment was in St. Lucia in 2021? Unemployment in St. Lucia in 2021 was over 20%, between 20 and 24%. And youth unemployment. And we're still not satisfied with youth unemployment. Youth unemployment was between 38 and 45%, between there. Today, St. Lucia experienced in one quarter the lowest unemployment in its history, 8.6%. And these are not figures that I recorded, you know. These are figures that are verified by the World Bank, by the IMF, by all these bodies, including the Ministry of Finance. Today, unemployment is between 10 and 12%. And it's going to get lower because in St. Lucia today, you cannot get a mason, nor can you get a carpenter. There are several times when you cannot get a bag of cement if you want to pay for it. And you have people at home, you can ask them, they tell you if it's not true. Construction now is booming. That's the right word. Right now, you cannot get a mason or a carpenter to work at home because once they finish one job, there's another job. There has never been so much investment in the hotel infrastructure in St. Lucia as is happening now. Never before. And again, you can check for yourself. You can see for yourself what happened with hotel development between 2021 and 2016 and 2021, what's happening between 2022 and now in terms of hotel construction. Go and see it for yourself. Go and see it for yourself. Because when they talk and they write on Facebook and they behave as if these things do exist, you need to go and see for yourself. Further, we talk about crime. We're not satisfied. We think that too many young people are involved in gangs and gang warfare. Too many young people, young men in particular, are losing their lives because of senseless gun violence. Senseless gun violence, many young men and young people are losing their lives. But we never politicize crime. We spend all our years in opposition. Because we were in opposition before. You never heard us blame the then Prime Minister for crime. And if you can find that, play it first. We never said it's because of him there was crime. What we said was we need to work together to deal with the crime situation in this country. And here's what we've done. We have increased the police services. Policemen, correctional officers, harbor police, city police. By over 200 new recruits have been put in the police force between 2021 and now. The largest number of recruits ever in the history of St. Lucia. We have given police more vehicles, motorcycles, ATVs, more than ever happened in the history of St. Lucia. We have enhanced the forensic capability of our policemen by training in forensics, training in case management, training in crime detection. But this is limited because we're still under the Leahy Law. And because of the Leahy Law, the full support that our police can get is limited because of the Leahy Law. But we are working around it, and we are investing more in the police than any other government before. The only government that has done that level of investment in the police is Kenny Anthony when he was Prime Minister. What we've done also, as we speak again, I want you to go to Grosley, and you will see the most modern police headquarters in CARICOM. And I can tell you, it can rank with anywhere in the world. Mais assuré, c'est pour ça ici là, que pas belle comme Grosley. Que travail pas jamais belle comme Grosley. Et vous amendez yo, tout c'est police là ici là. Mandez yo que kadai si Grosley pas plus belle passé. Grosley, the Grosley Police Headquarters is one of the most modern police complexes. There is a shooting range. There's a lawn tennis court. There's a state-of-the-art gym. There's dormitories, male and female. There's electronic. It's one of the most, and I'm very proud of it. We're spending $40 million to put our police in a condition of work where they can work, because where they were before was not acceptable. It was not acceptable. And we're very proud of it. But whilst we're doing that, we have improved the Vieux-Fort police station. When we came to the government in 2021, the Vieux-Fort police station was closed. It was closed because it needed renovations. And the police were housed in cramped circumstances, complain about mold, complain about all these kind of things. We renovated at nearly $4 million. We renovated the Grosley police station. We put in new equipment, etc. And now they are functioning in much better conditions. Vieux-Fort, sorry. Ancillary. The ancillary police station was sinking. When we came in 2021, we have now moved the police from ancillary into new quarters, new modern quarters. We repaired the police station in Canaries. We've done repairs to the police station in Choiseul. We've done repairs to the police station in my constituency. We've done repairs, and we continue to repair the police stations all over the island. Further, we just completed negotiations with the Police Welfare Association. Because when we had negotiations with the public servants, we gave everybody a 13% pay increase. 13% pay increase, all public servants got. The police were not satisfied with their allowances. So we had to renegotiate, because as I tell them, Margo make Pierce police. We negotiated with them, and now the police are getting the highest allowances that they ever got. And these are things I want you to check for yourself. Let's go quickly to education. to education. Every child in St. Lucia now can go to school. Every child. You don't have to be yellow, white, or red. Every child. The government pays facility fees for every child in St. Lucia today. Every child. Every child. So the parents, and again, what I'm saying to you, I want you to check it. So the parents who have 4 children had to pay between $150 per child, $600 every term. Now they pay nothing. The government is paying that for them. Further, the government is giving every child in secondary school a laptop computer. Every child. Further, the government is paying CXC, and they are paying CXC now. CXC time now. Every child. And it's not a matter if you yellow or you red, or you don't have to go to any minister's office to ask the minister to do it for you. Every child who is doing CXC, the government is paying 4 subjects for them. So if you're doing 6, the government pays 4 and you pay 2. And next year, I promise, the government will pay 1 more, so the government is going to pay 5 for matriculation next year. Every child. Every child. And I'm saying every child because I want to make you understand that this is not done on a political level. We're not playing politics of education, neither with health. No politics. No young lady, when she goes to the health center, they tell her who you're voting for. No. Doesn't happen. So in education, the problem in education is that there are many students who are not fit for purpose, in that the education they have doesn't mesh with the world of work. So what we've done, we've set up 4 TVET institutions, technical, vocational, and educational training, where children can go, young people can go and learn skills to get them in tune for the modern world. 4 of them, TVET, set up as we speak. And these schools are being expanded. What is being delivered in them is being increased all the time. But further, our teachers, there's something called temporary teachers, where these young people or these teachers could not be employed fully. They could not be not employed. They could not be taken as fully fledged teachers, so they had temporary employment. And for the month of August, they got no salary. This August, every temporary teacher got their salary from the government. And you know what it is to be working for 12 months and get paid for 11? Now every teacher gets paid for 12. Very quietly, we did that. The materials allowance that teachers used to get to help them, because you know, teachers in St. Lucia, and I probably have a soft part for both teachers and policemen, because that's what my parents were. So I always try to improve the quality of life, because I understand what it is to go to school on police and teacher's salary. I understand that. Teachers in St. Lucia, there's an allowance they call a materials allowance that they get every year, because teachers help children. They help them with the books. They help them, apart from helping them with things that they need. Teachers sometimes put your hand in their pocket to help children. So you give them an allowance, increase the allowance to them every year so that they can get it to help the teachers and to help the students and to buy materials. But further, we were the government of universal secondary school education. We were the government of universal primary school education. And we are going to be the government of universal early childhood education. We have begun by giving every non-government preschool, every preschool that's not run by the government, we give them an allowance. It was $2,500 this year. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we gave every preschool $3,000 allowance to help them. And every child who goes to a preschool a non-government preschool, the government helps the mother with $100 to pay their fees. And we're saying that we are going to make the same way we've made primary school education, the same way we've made secondary school education free, we are going to be making early childhood school education free for the children of St. Lucia so they can get a better grounding at the primary school. We haven't stopped here. In terms of university education, we have a project that is called One University Graduate per Household. We want every house in St. Lucia to have at least one person who went to university, at least one. And we've done that by not only increasing government scholarships, but we have something called a UniPass, where you apply to the government and they give you a $10,000 loan to help you in your university education. And in the coming government, we'll see if we can increase it so more St. Lucians can get a university education to help them to improve their quality of life. Because the next generation must be better than this generation. That is what we are striving for, a better generation. And I want you, as I said, I want you to check all these things that I've told you. I want to check all these things that I've told you. Because you in the United States are sometimes, you listen, you hear a lot of things, and you're not there, so you say, Sametan. You're not here, so you say, Sa-Mwe-Tan. But you need to know, listen to the facts. Let me tell you something. There were pensioners in this country, in St. Lucia. At the end of the month, they got $200 pension. And I'm sure you know somebody who at the end of the month got $200 pension. We negotiated with the NIC, and we said to the NIC, that is not right. Because once someone has worked, you must understand that NIC is something you contribute to. So what you put in is what you get out. It's a contributory scheme. We said that no pensioner should get less than $500 per month for their pension. And as we speak now, there is no NIC pensioner in St. Lucia who gets less than $500 a month. And we're looking to increase it as time goes on. And when you hear these stories sometimes it breaks your heart and may even bring a tear to your eye. A lady said to me that she and her husband, she got $302 a month, and her husband $320. So at the end of the month, they had $622 to live for the rest of the month. And she says to me, now, because of that policy, they have $1,000 a month to live on. And that has changed her entire life. And these are things that we have done. Civil servants, policemen, firemen, teachers, nurses, their pension is according to when they left. Some of them used to get $600, $650, their pension after those who retired earlier. We said no, every pensioner, every government pensioner does not get less than $750 a month as we speak. So these are the things, just some of the things we have done to improve the quality of life of the people of St. Lucia. Because our motto as a government is putting people first. Then let's get to the youth. Because you hear youth. There is no government that has invested more in the young people of St. Lucia than this government. There is no government. And again, that youth, but before I go to youth, let me tell you about something for the elderly. We introduced a home care program where government used to pay for people to take care of elderly people. The government paid it. And these people used to work on something like a contract. They used to work from Monday to Friday. And then they used to work for 11 months in a year. We've made all of them permanent employees, and the people get care from Monday to Monday. And yeah, that's where never came from. And next week, we are going to have a ceremony where, to begin with, over 1,000 civil servants used to work on contract, 2-year contract. They couldn't get a loan, they couldn't build a house because the contract was 2 years. Not anymore, my sister. From next week, these 1,000 people are going to be full-time employees of the government of St. Lucia. So they can go to a bank and get a loan and improve the quality of their life. And further, every person who is on government land for 30 years or more, will get that land free because of the government of St. Lucia. And that is starting in Richard's ministry. We are going to be doing that this week in Richard's ministry. That is how we improve the life of the people of this country. Not by telling them we're going to build 23 islands and that kind of thing. Incrementally, step by step, we are improving the lives of the people of St. Lucia. Incrementally. So, before I end and ask you for questions, let's speak a little about youth, young people. There's never been more investment in young people. I've told you about the investments in education because we believe that education is the key to our survival. I've told you about the investments in education, the investments in sports. Julian Alfred didn't just appear. Darren Sammy didn't just appear. Akim Ogis didn't just appear. These are investments that were made in government facilities. If you go to the Darren Sammy ground, it's one of the most modern complexes in the region, Darren Sammy ground. If you go to Mindu Philip Park now, it has been upgraded. If you go to the Marshall grounds now, it has been upgraded. We've invested in playing facilities throughout the island. We've invested in school sports. The school sports now is a big phenomenon in St. Lucia. School sports, massive phenomenon in St. Lucia. But one of the biggest investments is what we call investment in the youth economy, where the government created a specific agency called the Youth Economy Agency, particularly to convert hobbies into entrepreneurship and business and skills into business. And we started by giving every young person who wants to go in business, but we don't just give you the grant, we train you, we mentor you, we train you in marketing, we train you in how to run your business. You get a grant to start with of $500. And I have said that in the next government, we are going to double that for the young people of St. Lucia. We're going to double it. And also, right now, you can also get a loan for $30,000 for your business. But I'll tell you something, not everybody will get. Not everybody can get. And if I tell you everybody has got, I will be speaking the truth. But I know about 1,000 old people have got and more are getting every day. So these investments in young people is continuing. Investment in culture. Investment, and he told you, Imran Henry told you, these investments in music, They are continuing. Right now, we have a grant, and next week, we're going to be giving grants to young artists, musicians, people, artists, poets, people who do these kind of creative things. We are going to be giving some grants to them next week. And we also have a course in cybersecurity, modernizing the education in this country. Because as you know, that computers and information technology is the way to go. So we have training in cyber technology, an investment of about $1.5 million in cybersecurity, so young people can learn how to get involved in professions in cybersecurity. So generally, we are trying to improve the quality of life of the people of St. Lucia. But it comes with a cost. It comes with a cost. But whilst it comes with a cost, we have reduced income tax for the people of this country. Income tax has been reduced because anybody who gets less than $24,000 a month pays no tax. And we've increased the allowances from January to $24,000 a year. $24,000 a year, thank you. Pay no, $24,000 a year. Let me say it again. $24,000 a year. Yes. A $5,000 grant. They'll never say I said that one, eh? A $5,000 grant and a $30,000 loan if you apply. So anybody who gets less than $24,000 a year pays no tax. And that is going to be increased in January, and the allowances that you can claim was $30,000 is going to go up in January to $40,000. That's going to happen in January. If you have a mortgage, you are a civil servant, and you have a mortgage of less than $400,000, you pay no stamp duty. A mortgage of less than $400,000, you pay no stamp duty. And you've just completed negotiations with the Taiwanese to put in the development bank $20 million for on-lending for housing in this country. But plus the fact that we've reduced VAT, we've removed VAT on essential building materials, and that is why you see such an increase in the housing stock in this country. But as I said, there's lots has happened, but there's a lot more to be done. Lots has happened, but there's a lot more to be done. And we hope that the people of St. Lucia will understand and know that this government is a government in progress. We are a government in progress. There's a lot more to be done. Where we took it to where it is now, we've done well. Lots has happened, but there's a lot more to be done. So very soon, the people of St. Lucia will be called to make a decision. Very soon. At least who has a fait belle ça? I am going to shout the election date. I can ring plus bell. Bell say by time I can call, ring bell. We're going to talk the election date. We're going to shout the election date. And we're going to shout it with pride and with determination, with commitment to continue putting this country on the path of progress. Continue allowing this country to move forward together for continued progress. So I want you to understand what we've done and where we are going. I want you to listen carefully to what you hear. I want you to analyze what you hear, what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And you must remember, St. Lucia did not just appear in 2021. There was a St. Lucia before that. It just didn't appear in 21. St. Lucia was there before that. So you need to look at where St. Lucia was and look at where it is now. I haven't even spoken about roads. You heard they were complaining about roads. Right now in St. Lucia, the roads have improved substantially. If you've been there for yourself, you could see they have improved. They are not the best, but they have improved and they are improving. And right now, work is happening in some of the roads that were the worst roads. And, you know, I don't always forget my constituency. Those of you from my constituency, look at it, you see, he just finished La Pensée. So, you know what I mean? He just finished La Pensée. But, you know, I have a little road going on there now. A little road, not a big road, a little road. If you go to my constituency now, you see we're doing major renovations on Bagatelle. When we finish there, we're putting traffic lights. We're extending, so because the Bagatelle Road is used as a bypass from the north, from Castries across there. So we're extending there. And you know, I want to talk about a little bit about my constituency. Because the people, what they do is they try to insult the people of my constituency. They try to insult them by saying to them, what has your parliamentary rep done for you from the time he is in government? But all of them are saying that, they're living there, you know. All of them that saying that, they never live there, you know. All of them that say that, don't understand what development of people means. Every country in the world has deserted houses. Ukwe, mesa kwaze kay moun. So, ça n'a fait. Tout le monde qui quitte kay yo, kwaze, ekfe, okainef. But look at the quality of life. Look at all these people's children now. They're getting the CXC free, they're getting the facility fees, they're getting the health care, all the quality of life of these people. Look at, if you go to my constituency and you saw where you go where people really live, you will see how the quality of life has improved. But I cannot mash up people's house if they have them deserted. Everywhere there are deserted houses. So what do they say? Oh, Masha have deserted houses. Capet State has deserted houses. What we have to do is we have to change the law for the entire country. So deserted houses, government can move in and acquire it and do what we have to do with it. But my people are satisfied with the representation. That is why they voted for me. So don't insult them. Don't insult them by telling them why. So you're saying to them that they're stupid. You know why they're voting for me? They're voting for me because they love me. And that is what they cannot take. They can't understand how my people love me and I love them too. So together, we are moving forward together. And I tell you something, I've never said so before, but in the election that's coming now, you see, every day, Flambeau Kadi, election, ring the bell. Once I pass by a TV station, they're scared. If I just pass by HTS, tout Flambeau Kakui, he calling it. But you want me to call it all the time. Ring the bell, ring the bell. So when you see me go by the radio station, you should be happy. But what they know, and what I know, and what we know, is when that election is called, we are going to have one of the largest margins ever in the history of St. Lucian politics. And I want you to tell your people in St. Lucia, do not believe that we've won already. They have to get their ID cards. They have to make sure that their name is on the voters list. Because the only way you win elections is by votes. Crowds don't win elections. Rallies don't win elections. T-shirts don't win elections. What wins elections is votes. And you must say to your relatives and your friends in St. Lucia that they have to vote. And you, if you can come to vote. Because we need every vote. We cannot go back to where we were before. Going back to where we were before is for revenge. You heard the lady who said, never, never, never. You heard what was the response to her. You heard how a simple lady who is just expressing her democratic rights. You mean to tell me, because the lady said so, she can be threatened like that? If you can threaten a little lady like that, you can imagine what they can do to regular people. All these people want to do is to come back to take revenge on the people of St. Lucia. Because they believe the people of St. Lucia, they believe the people of St. Lucia did a wrong when they elected the St. Lucia Labour Party. And right now, my Prime Minister had a politician now. They believe that the people of St. Lucia did a wrong when they expressed democratic right. And they want to come back to take revenge. They want to come back to victimize us. And they say it all the time. They have a list of people that they'll fire. And a list of this because they believe that they have a God-given right to run this country. No one has a God-given right to run St. Lucia. No one. St. Lucia belongs to St. Lucians. St. Lucia belongs to the people of St. Lucia. And the people of St. Lucia will choose the government that they want. And they will do that on Monday. That's what they will do. That's what they will do. So you see, my brothers and sisters, my colleagues are here, so we'll have a seat and we'll take questions from you. You can ask us whatever you want. Jeremiah will moderate it, and then you can take questions. We can take questions from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. At this time, we'll take questions. There are two mics, one to my left and the other to my right. So I think I saw Mr. Eugene has a question, Peter.
Okay. Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good.
I heard all the comments, and I am aware of some of the policies that you have put in place, expanding health care and expanding the education allowance, etc., etc. No doubt, and removing people from the tax threshold. You can't hear me? You don't know? Okay. No doubt this reduces the income you would otherwise get because you've increased the threshold for, for taxes and so on. So most people don't pay. Some might argue, how are you financing all what you've just mentioned, now that you've increased your capital expenditure, your recurrent expenditure? So my question to you, what's the income side of it? How are we financing all of this? Well...
Okay, that's a good question. St. Lucia, we have imposed one taxation measure, which is the health and security levy. The health and security levy is a 2.5% levy we've put for health and security. It's not on food, it's not on any good. And I just want to mention what you've done about food, the cost of food. You must have heard they talk about inflation, price of food, as if food is only expensive in St. Lucia. Food is expensive all over the world. The last elections in this country was fought on inflation, right? What we've done is that we've removed VAT on 70 goods in the supermarket. And we've removed the 6% service charge on all essential commodities. So in St. Lucia today, the price of certain food in the supermarket has actually gone down. And again, you can call home on some of these items. But coming back to your question, we imposed a health and security levy, and then there was a whole hue and cry about the health and security levy. But the health and security levy, and I'm sure the Minister of Health will tell you the expenses that we've done on healthcare in St. Lucia. The health and security levy only raises about $33 million per year. And then the minister will tell you the healthcare expenses. But how we make revenue is by expansion of the economy. St. Lucia's economy is growing at a very rapid rate. A lot of investment. So when there's investment, there's what the economist calls the multiplier effect. So you invest, people get work, they get paid, they spend the money, you collect VAT, and that is how we manage to run the country based on the expansion of the economy. But we are being very cautious in that, and we are trying to eliminate waste and corruption. We're trying to eliminate waste and corruption because a lot of money was lost because of waste and corruption. And we also get revenue from the CIP program. Some revenue comes in from the CIP program, which we are trying to improve so that we can continue to get the revenue from that program.
Over to you, Mr. Felix.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Honorable Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister.
Yes, sir.
I'm right here.
Yes, sir.
I'm right here. Hello. So I'm here, I'm speaking on behalf of most of the people here. They all are shippers. They all ship with me, and they have a problem. It takes 2 weeks for the shipment to get to St. Lucia, and it takes another 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the people to get the shipment. However, everybody talks about SLASPA is the problem. Number two, customs come to work at 9 or 8 o'clock. By 11 o'clock, they shut down, they go for lunch. Is there something you can do to help the people to try to expedite the shipment for them, please? Because they work very hard up here, you know, to send stuff to their family, and this is what they do. So please, can we...
All right. In the long run, St. Lucia is suffering from a problem. Some may say it's a good problem to have. but is an inconvenience for all. I can tell you that the country is growing much faster than is anticipated. The country is actually growing much faster. So importation is more than expected. Like, I'll give an example. A lot of the equipment for the hospital is right now stuck in Jamaica because of the issues in Jamaica. You see, the world is a very small world, and the opposition will want you to believe that St. Lucia exists on its own. When something happens anywhere in the world, particularly in the United States, it impacts upon us in St. Lucia even worse than you in the US. Even worse than you. So there are supply chain issues. Containers get stuck all over the place. The harbor, the ports are overcrowded. The importation is more than expected, and there are too many empty containers in the port, so the port is congested. What we're doing is that you see some improvements coming for the season, in that we are trying to get the empty containers out of the port so you can have more space for containers. That's coming. Secondly, the barrels, again, we do not anticipate that number of barrels coming to St. Lucia. And between you and me, there are things in the barrels that are not supposed to be in it. Now, I ain't talking about TV, eh? I ain't talking about TVs and stereo. I talk about other things that are not supposed to be there. So we are under constant pressure. You know, because they put more pressure on small islands, on small countries, even though we are not the cause. These things I'm talking about, they don't make them at all in St. Lucia, but they come from somewhere. And the people where it comes from refuse to control it in the borders. But we have to control it in our borders for them. And that costs us money and inconvenience, etc. So it's something that we have to work on together. We are increasing. Then there's also going to be a massive port investment. So the port can accept bigger ships, and so we can have bigger ships coming into port. But that investment is work in progress, will start early next year. So the answer is a very difficult answer. Importation is greater than we anticipated. The statistics tell you that if the government anticipated 1,000 barrels would come, it's probably gone up by 3 times. And then each of these barrels have to be, and we know good pay for bad, and bad pay for all. So sometimes it's very inconvenient, and it's very slow, because these barrels have to be inspected. The technology to inspect them is extremely expensive. But as I said, it's a work in progress, and we hope that expansion of the port, etc., will help.
Good night, Mr. Prime Minister. Good night, everyone. My name is Juliet Amos. I'm a retired nurse from St. Lucia. I think you forgot, Mr. Prime Minister, to mention that your government is paying tuition for student nurses. And that's very important for us, okay? I really appreciate this gesture, and God bless you all. That's what I had to say.
Yes, we forgot that yet. We are, because you see, all our nurses come to the United States and England. You can point tout the money I can point you. So we're paying 2005 in the first year, 2005 in the second year, 2005 in the third year, and 10,000 in the final year.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Mr. Prime Minister. Hi, Musa. Hi, Alva. I'm from Vieux-Fort, born, raised, bred in Vieux-Fort town. And Vieux-Fort is very near and dear to my heart. So I'm from the Labouchi area, the dead part of Vieux-Fort. And first of all, let me say, you're doing a great job. I'm very impressed with the government of St. Lucia. I left St. Lucia and I came back and I thought I was still in New York. That's how it's clean, it's amazing. Thank you so much, especially for Vieux-Fort. But I do have a little concern regarding the fact that I feel Vieux-Fort is left behind a little bit and having to put my shoe in a bag, wash my feet when I got to the school, and put my shoe on because we had mud. Dr. Anthony took care of that. He improved our life. He cleaned up Vieux-Fort. Now I would like for this government to expand it and do something a little more for us in the town of Vieux-Fort. Although I know we had our little issues, I'm very aware of that, but there are other things that can be done for the people of Vieux-Fort, especially the young people. We used to have a lot of football. I remember Abra and all of those great footballers, Titi, Butu, all of them came from Vieux-Fort. And now we have nothing going on in the town of Vieux-Fort. I would like, we even had Tabu Melee in the town of Vieux-Fort. Now we have nothing. And if you walk through the town of Vieux-Fort, you're walking through a ghost town. And I know it's not always the government's responsibility, it's also the citizens' responsibility. We as Vieux-Fortians have to do our part, but give us a helping hand and give us the initiative to take our town back. We need something to revive us.
Over to you, Peter. Thank you so much.
We would ask you to keep your comments brief, please. Thank you.
I would allow the parliamentary rep for Vieux-Fort North to answer about Vieux-Fort generally. But let me give you some good news. The administrative center that the UDAP stopped, we are going to start building it this year.
Well, thank you very much. Good night, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Let me just say that Vieux-Fort, there are so many things that are happening, and I must tell you that, yes, Dr. Anthony did do a wonderful job, and our government is working very hard to decentralize some of the services out of Castries into Vieux-Fort. The Department of Commerce, for example, just established an office in Vieux-Fort where small business people can come to the Chitoli building and get services. So a number of individuals who normally had to travel to Castries can now redirect their attention to Vieux-Fort. Also, the government is working, and we are well advanced with plans to cause there to be an office in Vieux-Fort where you can have your passports and your birth certificates and so on done. Driver's license already, we are already doing that, but we are expanding services so that we can decentralize. We are also trying to encourage the people of the South in general to access the Youth Economy Agency, for example, and to access other services of government at a much faster rate and to cause them to adopt a number of the programs that are happening. So yes, there are a number of new programs that are being accessed by the people of Vieux-Fort. But of course, infrastructure, the airport, I'm sure, again, the Prime Minister, there are so many things. Prime Minister forgot to speak about the airport. And of course, the airport is well advanced in terms of its expansion and so on. And I'm sure at some other point, the Prime Minister will speak about that. Okay, thanks.
Good evening, everybody. My question is directed to the Prime Minister. I've been seeing the work that's done at St. Jude's. Okay? Last time, I think some at St. Jude's and they got lost. I don't know. I'm leader of the opposition. I just need you to let us know where do we stand. St. Jude's going to be open. I've been paying so much. Okay, so that's all I need to find.
Okay, I want to tell you something about St. Jude. You know, there's been a lot of downright lies. And it's not a word, it's not a very diplomatic word to use. But there are a lot of lies about St. Jude. Lies. L-I-E-S. Mensures. By keep halfway about St. Jude. Before I let the minister explain to you where we are at St. Jude's, let me tell you something. You heard some people tell you that the box was 6 months away from completion. Now, I mean, let's be realistic and let's forget about everything else. Do you think what you saw on TV, leaking, water coming through it, with not one partition, could be 6 months away from completion? In the box, ask them where the kitchen would be. Ask them in the box where the offices would be. Ask them in the box where the laundry would be. But they repeat all the time, and that's hurtful, that the box was 6 months away from completion. Now, when you tell people that, you believe the people are stupid and you're trying to fool them. Because you know not even a regular dwelling house can be built within 6 months unless you really push. You have a place that's leaking. You don't have one partition in there. You don't have one piece of equipment in there. You have no pipes in there. You have no air conditions in there. But you said it'll be finished in 6 months. What these guys were doing is that the box could not stand on its own. You remember that they demolished 2 buildings. You remember that? You know, because again, they want you to forget that. Do you remember that they put a tractor in 2 buildings there? Remember that? So they had the box, but they had to use the other buildings to add to the box. The box could not function by itself as a hospital. You must ask them where would they put the kitchen. So they give you all kinds of stories. They said that the hospital, and you know, these guys say things and they forget. But you must remind them. Remember they told you that they would have the hospital downstairs and upstairs for tourists? No, but serious. Yes, they told you that downstairs would be for locals and upstairs would be for tourists where they would pay. Different things. Then they tell you they'd have a helicopter at the top. No concrete roof. No concrete roof, but a helicopter at the top. Here's what we did. And I want you to listen carefully because the minister will tell you where we are. When we came into government, you know, I never professed to be an engineer. I never professed to be an architect. I never professed to know everything. These guys know everything. They come from nowhere and they become engineer, they become contractor, they become architect, they become doctor, they become psychologist, they become everything. Somebody vote for them, so they are everything. What we did is that we formed a committee. No politician. No politician in the committee. And you know, as the election is near on a Monday, we have to remind you. We have to remind you of where this country was. Because they want you to forget. I have to remind you. We have to remind you. We didn't just stay there and say what we were doing, you know. We formed a committee. No politician, no government minister, And the committee said to us that we should continue work on the existing site. These guys left the site with bats, with grass. These guys left these buildings for 2 years. They didn't do anything on it. Goats, sheep, cochon. Pas dire about chien, c'est là, hein? Lord blame mettez-moi en trois cas. Pas dire rien about chien. Même si vous êtes chien en meeting, pas rien. Si vous êtes chien, bon meeting, pas dire rien. Parce que you guys do apologize. So say nothing about that tonight. Please. Pas They left these buildings. They left these buildings. And you must remember that. Make them remember. They left these buildings to rot for 2 years. Wicked. They left it grass. All kinds of things on these buildings. And they come and tell you they'll give a state-of-the-art hospital in 6 months. But why in the 6 months you didn't fix the buildings?
Ask them.
And you must ask these guys these questions. You must ask them because they peddle these things and the surrogates peddle the same nonsense.
I'll ask them on Monday.
And I guess sometimes I get annoyed when I hear people repeat that nonsense as if they don't remember what they had before. So when the committee decided we were doing that, we started ourselves. We said we would use 2 of the buildings, physiotherapy and dialysis, and we'd use the west wing of the hospital for the administration, for the kitchen, for the laundry, for the surgical, and for the medical. And if you go there now, you will see the work that has been done at the hospital. But I'll tell you something. You cannot just, and you cannot just take people and put them in a hospital. You have to have the buildings ready for the hospital. First, you have to have the equipment, you have to have the administrative situation, you have to have the computer networks, you have to have the surgical wards, everything is ready. And the minister will tell you where we are. We are at a stage now where the construction work in the hospital is done. And you can see it for yourself. We are right now at the stage where we are moving in the equipment. State of the art, that's what you call state of the art. Pas place kika koule, lokan talk at the state of the art. We're moving into that stage where we put in the equipment. We formed what is called a commissioning body. And we're not boasting about it. Now we're playing politics with it because we agree that this hospital has taken too long to be completed. We agree with that. So that's why you see we don't go ahead and say St. Julie finish in July, or in August and September, because we know that the people of St. Lucia need the hospital. So what's happening now is that the hospital is ready for commissioning. It's ready for commissioning. We are going to begin.
Quickly, I'll tell you that the infrastructure, the buildings, the rooms, and I don't have to speak too much about that, parce que vous avez il y a 10 ans mouchoué, moi St. Lucia Times ka mouchoué, tout le monde ka mouchoué. So c'est mensonge là yo ka dire about l'hôpital là. Ou ka wè pourquoi that ça pas vrai. Most of all the construction has been completed, and right now it is just the finer things, cupboards, a little painting here and there, and some cleaning and so on. And the hospital is over 90%. But there are implements and so on that have been put. The commissioning is very important because, as Prime Minister indicated, when a building is finished and the UWP is pretending as if this never happened, when the Owen King EU Hospital was completed, the Dr. Kenny Anthony administration put together a commissioning team that was headed by Dr. Stephen King. And when we lost the elections, the next government fired Dr. King and them. They brought in a private company for $25 million over 2 years. And that organization was supposed to commission the hospital from Victoria Hospital to Owen King EU Hospital. But you know what happened? It is St. Lucian doctors and nurses and so on who actually commissioned Victoria to Owen King EU, and we had to come in to ensure that this company was paid, the company that they employed. So the same thing will happen, the same thing is happening with the St. Jude Hospital. You have a building, you must commission the hospital. You can't just take patients from the stadium and just put them into new buildings. You must commission it, you must have processes, you must have training with the new equipment. And so our government has put together a commissioning team. It's over a year now. It's not because the hospital is finishing, we put a commissioning team together. And the commissioning team has doctors, nurses, administrators, it has people in construction who are designing how to move the hospital, how to install the equipment, when to do it, when to do the trials, when to do the training. So we are going to open the St. Jude Hospital and hand over the hospital to the professionals who are the commissioning team to move the hospital in an orderly, to move people in an orderly way, in a good way into what is the real state-of-the-art facility at the St. Jude Hospital now. And that's happening soon.
Good night, good night, good night. My name is Mohammed Toussaint from Make It South, a strong supporter of Dr. Heraxon. The question was actually about the hospital, but obviously it's answered. So since I'm next, I want to take this opportunity, this time, to let everyone from Make It South know, if you are here and you are able to come down to St. Lucia, we need you. We need you. Please come. All over the world, please come. We need you. We have to get rid of this reckless guy in Make It South. It is very important. If you can't, for some particular reason, you can't come down to vote, call your aunt, call your nan, and call your kids. Stay on the phone with them and make sure they go to this poll on that Monday. Thank you.
Good night, good night. I'm Daniel Alexander and from Make It South. Make It North, I'm sorry. Jeremy, listen, recently, of the opposition was addressing the youth rally. And at that rally, he said that gangs have played a good role in St. Lucia. Now, he specifically said that young men who are looking for a father figure gravitate towards gangs. Now, I'm not aware of any gang member that is volunteering at a soup kitchen or after-school program. As far as I know, gang members are involved in criminal activity. Now, I've never read any literature that highlighted gang activity as something positive for any country. Never. So, as the leader of the opposition, I expected him to be discouraging gang membership rather than encouraging people to join gangs. So, I'm wondering, what are some of the good things that gangs have done for St. Lucia? Are you aware of any? Now, it seems like some of us will say anything to get a vote. And I'm just wondering whether you had anything to say about this.
Well, I think I'll let you said that the Honorable Richard Fredericks was in law enforcement. So I think I'll let him make a comment on that.
What St. Lucians normally say, how is me now? Crystal, I voting for you, boss. I'll tell you very quickly. When any words emanate from the mouth of the person who said those words, fact check them, because 99% of what he says either makes no sense or is a lie. 99%. You must not forget, he was the very ones who accused this government of giving gang leaders work. He was the very one who accused the Honorable Prime Minister of giving a gang leader to participate in the construction of, what's the name, custody suites. He was the very one today. Today, he realizes that Crapo smoke his pipe, he's trying to bring them home. Tell him, Paisia, Pavinasa, because there is no way any country can derive any good deed from gangs. Gangs are criminal congregations that are meant to break the law, that are meant to bring misery to the people of any country where they exist, and there should be zero tolerance to gangs.
And just before, and Richard, Minister Frederick made a point about that. You know, the government has done so many things in crime prevention and citizen security that we forget. You remember there's something called custody suites? You remember that? When they arrested you, and that happened when Richard was minister of custody suites. These guys, they and their father, they took a tractor. And again, I want you to check these things for yourself. Because they want you to forget that. They do as if these things don't exist. They never existed. These guys took a tractor on a Sunday and they put it in the custody suites. Policemen still had their clothes in there. There were still computers there. Prisoners, they tear down the custody suites. And you know, and this gets you annoyed and you have to hold back on your emotions. These guys tore down the custody suites with no idea as to what they... When policemen arrested people, they had nowhere to bring them. They had to bring them to Marsha, full up my station in Marsha. When they finish, they bring them to Babonneau, full up the station in Babonneau. Then they bring them to Grosile, full up the station in Grosile, because these stations, they do not have cells to hold people when they are arrested for more than 24 hours. They can only hold 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 people. They used to fill it up. Then policemen used to have to bring the fellas to Anslery, to Marigot. All these cells were full. So the policemen used to just drop the fellas. Yes. When they arrest them, they had nowhere to put them. So they used to bring them for a lime and drop them. And ask any policeman who is speaking the truth, they'll tell you, because the guys said so to me. Boss man, they had nowhere to put me. So I can do a crime. Not the right thing, but that's a fact, because there was nowhere to put them. Nowhere to hold them. Because you cannot send a man to Bordelais unless he's sent there by magistrate, right, Minister? So you have to hold him for at least 3 days before you can send him to Bordelais. So they used to drop the fellas. We build the custody suites. The guy is so contemptuous to the people of St. Lucia. we built a custody suite. The custody suite was built by a design finance construct. It was put to tender. It was supervised by the Ministry of Physical Development. There was a procurement process for the custody suites. 6 companies bid for the custody suites. There was an entire process. This guy, when the custody suite was completed, now the custody suite can hold, it's one of the most modern holding facilities in the region. So we can arrest people, put them in there. The police tell me that has stopped so much domestic violence. Because when a fella behaving bad, c'est toujours nom yo ka wete, les noms ka bat femme, toujours nom. Les femmes ka bat nom, c'est sorry. Mais on chay femme ka bat nom yo ça, hein? Mais yo pay, yo pas de un coup. So when they arrest, so right now, a lot of domestic violence has been halted because the cops can take the man out of the environment, put him in the custody suites, let him cool out, and send him back in. But, so this guy said that we gave drug dealers to build the custody suites. How can a man who went to a bank to get his money, who went for a procurement process, who was supervised by 2 ministries, the Attorney General's office vetted the agreement. The bank will not give you money until you have your source of funds and where you get your money from. This guy said that we gave drug dealers to build the custody suites. That is where these guys go. These guys say anything to destroy St. Lucia. They believe that they can burn the house and rule over the ashes. They believe they can burn the house to kill a rat. You understand? But we will not allow that to happen. You should not allow that to happen.
Over to you, Ms. Nisa, but we're at 10:05, so we need to start wrapping up. So let's be brief. Ms. Thornhill.
Thank you very much for being here, Prime Minister Justice. I want to piggyback on a comment you made about waste and corruption. I understand why your government cannot investigate the previous government. So my question is there or will there be an independent commission created to investigate the waste, corruption, and extreme mismanagement of St. Lucia money of the previous government?
You see, I'll tell you something. We are a government of principle. We are a government of principle. Now, it's important to know that we are not a government of witch hunting. No, we are a government of revenge. We're not a government of revenge. We don't believe that government. So the things that they say about me and about Richard and about Moses, we don't get involved in that. We're not a government of revenge. I'll tell you something. We have passed legislation for special prosecutor. On my mother's grave, I have never spoken to the special prosecutor. Tell people that they'll never believe you. I do not know him. See me when we say Shimea Makonetli. I don't know him. But do you know that I was the first person they asked to investigate? Special prosecutor investigate me. He investigated the Prime Minister and the Attorney General and the Deputy Prime Minister. He did that. But when you have cocoa in sun, you're looking for rain. So I knew I had no cocoa in sun. He investigated me because he said that I went to court with Hilaire to influence the judge. Nonsense. Rubbish, you're right. That never happened, so I didn't worry. So the special prosecutor wrote and said that there's nothing nothing with Hilaire, the AG or myself. I never said anything about it, you know. Because we are a government of principle. We're not a government that interferes in justice. When the special prosecutor does his work, he does his work on an independent basis. So when you say, my sister, anybody can report to the special prosecutor, you know. Anybody can. That's what the law says. Anybody can make a report. But we believe in justice, not in revenge. We believe in truth and not in witch hunting. We believe in information and not in lies. That's what we believe in. So we allow justice to take its course because, as they say, the rules of the scale of justice grinds. The wheels of justice grinds very slowly. So as far as I'm concerned, these things are on their own. I'm not involved in that.
Good evening. My question is concerning agriculture. I'm a future agriculturist. My father is currently doing farming. So my question is this, okay? Because once upon a time when we were growing up, I remember we didn't have to pay for bananas. We didn't have to pay for green figs, that sort of thing. Now I know the banana industry is over as we know it. So I'm asking, how could we increase the export bill and diversify into other crops? How could we also market agriculture as something viable for the youth? Because people are generally turned away from it because they kind of relate it to colonialism. So again, I'm saying I'm a future farmer. I'm asking, what kind of can you put towards uplifting the industry?
Good evening, Mr. Prime Minister. No, it's okay. Yeah. I'm concerned about the crime in St. Lucia. You addressed that, the root cause of the problem is gang, and you have to navigate the Patley law. But you still didn't say how you're going to navigate it and how you're going to solve that problem. In America, I have lots of gang, and Patley is a senator from Vermont. When they find gang members in America, they pay the price. So why can't our criminals pay the price in St. Lucia?
And so we will do 2 questions at a time. Yeah. Okay, so, all right, we'll take a third one, Peter. Mr. Mangal, let's be brief, please.
I'll be briefer. Okay, my question, everybody going back, I'm going forward, because I'm very confident that the hospital will be finished. So my question is about when we get the hospital out of the stadium, what are the plans with that place? Because I have a few suggestions in relation to a lady earlier who spoke about sports in Vieux-Fort. And briefly, I'd like to give suggestions that this place, we shouldn't go. They had a sports academy, and I believe that's the wrong way to go because it's exclusive, it's not inclusive, although they're trying to reform it right now. I'm looking at that Vieux-Fort area, and my vision for it is that it should have a national sports training center where it's be fully equipped with a gymnasium. And to do that, like stadium, I believe the government, the Olympic Committee, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Sports and national federations have to work together. Because just like education, if we do not have, one of the best things to sports is having the school sports on the weekend. Because I remember when the stadium was there, we had the senior games and it was filled to capacity. But school sports during the week, parents can't get off work to go and support them. So we did that support. So the idea of the National Sports Center is that you can get all the federations to help in equipping. And we have limited resources, and in that way, they can contribute in equipment and cross-training with all the different national federations, the experts, the coaches right there. This is how we should capitalize on what Julian has. And that's what I think we should do.
All right, we had the 3 questions. First of all, Comrade Mangal, school sports now is on a weekend. Yeah. I'll let the minister talk about agriculture, but I want to just briefly speak about gangs, etc. It's not, I don't think it is very accurate to say that we've not taken a definitive step to deal with the crime situation. We've increased the fines, the penalties for possession of guns and ammunition. We've increased the penalties where it involves gun crimes. We have increased the number, the courts that right now we are building a building which is to deal with the backlog of cases in the system. We are building the House of Justice to put all the courts in one area. But there's something called separation of powers. The government cannot send people to jail. It's the courts that send people to jail. And that distinction is something that politicians would like to use that as if the Prime Minister can send people to jail. The Prime Minister can't send nobody to jail, you know. You understand? In fact, the Prime Minister must obey the law like anybody else. In fact, they expect the Prime Minister to obey the law more than everybody else. And the ministers. OSIO, they voulaient faire ministère aujourd'hui, ils voulaient ouvrir bac de bagarre. Now, separation of powers. So when the police arrest somebody, there's a process that must happen. There's 1 set of court, 2 sets of court, 3 sets of court. Then there is the trial. Then there's appeal. There's all that. So it's not very fair to say the government is doing nothing. The government is putting the system in place, but the system must have a way of doing it for itself. So what we're doing is we have increased the prosecution. We still have problems there because you cannot get lawyers to go in the prosecution because there is not enough money in there. So St. Lucia has a lot of lawyers, but the lawyers are not getting involved in criminal law. So we have a backlog in there. So all the guys in there for murder, you have to get lawyers for them. Because our system says you are innocent until proven guilty. Now again, people just talk and say things. You cannot say a man is a criminal unless he's been convicted and sent to jail. You can say he's accused. He's an accused. So to say that the government has done nothing about gangs, plus the fact we're speaking about the social things we've done for the people of St. Lucia, which we're not going into. We said some of it. But everybody in the system must put their head together. But politicians must not use crime as a way to get into power. Politicians must not do that, and that's the problem. But I want to tell you about separation of powers, where the government has to follow a system, they have to follow the rules. I don't know if Richard wants to expand on that.
Yeah, very quickly, politicians do not administer justice, okay? You will not see a politician sitting as a magistrate or a judge. What you do as a politician is that you say to the judiciary, we are having a problem. You could have only sentenced this man to 3 years in jail. Now I'm giving you the authority through legislation passed in Parliament to increase the amount of time that you can give him. If you caught him the first time, you, on the second occasion, remand him. But at the end of the day, the most we can do as a government is to put the tools in place and to permit judicial officers to give them the discretion to punish those guys as they see fit. And it is not us are the ones punishing the guys. Sometimes I see guys who are caught with firearms and the day after they're on the street. What do we do as a politician? There's only so much we can do. And so it is not our fault, but it is just giving you the tools. Now I want to say something very quickly about the special prosecutor. What the government had promised was to put mechanisms in place to ensure that anyone that basically delved into corrupt activities were dealt with. But again, we cannot deal with them. What did we do? We appointed a special prosecutor and give him authority, gave him a team to investigate, collect statements, and to prosecute persons against whom he has evidence to do so. It is okay for anybody to stay out there and say, "Ça a volé l'argent, ça a volé l'argent, so pas waiting." Anybody can say that. But the procedure is a report is made, investigations are being done, statements are collected, and as long as the special prosecutor believes there is enough evidence, that person can be arrested and be held before court. And I could tell you, so far, 2 persons who are involved in the general political arena. One was taken into custody for questioning, and another one has been questioned. But that is the most we can do. We cannot take a whip and beat the special prosecutor. He has to observe protocol, observe procedure. He has a team of men. Let him do what he has to do to satisfaction. So you pack ID, nous fait personne awiti pescal timoun. Philippe J.P. pas qu'à interférer à rien. Celle ça a été promis, c'est un special prosecutor et nous a mis en place pour faire ça ici posé faire. Donc à m'a démodé, si évidence là, fait ça qui si posé fait là, pour ces gens volés à aller là.
Hello, good night, good night. My name is Linus Alphonse. I'm from the constituency of Mikud South. And I love this constituency dearly. But anyway, Mr. Prime Minister, is to you my question, one question. And I'm coming to Mr. Jean-Baptiste and Mr. Okay. Mr. Prime Minister, you mentioned about healthcare, and you as well elaborated on the teachers that get paid on the temporary teachers. My question to you, why can't they be permanent? The temporary teachers. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. I did not get that, I'm sorry. So anyway, let me divert to the other point. I believe infrastructure believes on roads.
Right, just allow him to finish.
Infrastructure, please. I believe, is roads. And our road in Vieux-Fort, I want to elaborate on Vieux-Fort a little. We have a 4 kind of lane dimension in the Vieux-Fort area. And the Kakabe for the base. It's kind of 4 lane. I would like that to be like a seed to see Vieux-Fort in a round from the end of the airport as a seed to go around the Laurentius area as a 4 lane. And that would have been a beautiful project for the South, Vieux-Fort South, and it will divert a lot of the traffic congestion in the north, and it will divert a lot of people to the south. And I would love to see that as a big seed to be projected.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alphonse. Okay, so we'll hand over to our final question, and that will be by Mr. Anson Maxwell.
Thank you. Bonsoir. Messieurs, bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir. Anson Maxwell. Henry South from the platform. Night to our Prime Minister. Let me observe. The Honorable Richard. My mic is cut. Pardon moi, conseil moi, je vais couper mic. Fais-moi ça. Okay. Honorable Richard Frederick, Honorable Moussa Jean-Baptiste, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Alva Baptiste. I have a three-part question, and the first is to you, Honorable Richard Frederick. Alan Chastanet came into the House, Honorable Opposition Leader, and said you, as Minister of Community Development, prevented him from completing a community center in Micoud South. We would like you to answer to tell us what that is about.
Let me just tell you quickly. I just told somebody anything this man says, 99% is either a lie or it is something of a figment of his imagination. Alan Chastanet was Minister of Finance. Alan Chastanet was Prime Minister. Alan Chastanet controlled the public purses. Alan Chastanet was the representative of his constituency. If he wanted to do something there during the more than 5 years he represented there, nobody could have stopped him.
Thank you for the answer. Honorable Moussa Jean-Baptiste. Honorable Moussa Jean-Baptiste, we have somebody from Dennery South who is supposed to be overshadowing the Ministry of Health. He has more bullock than anything else. They did not pay hospital bills for 2 people we know of. Yet they are the ones talking about healthcare and how they're going to give people $75,000 per person. If they were not able to pay 2 people, one of those they put out of the hospital in Cuba, and the other one who is currently a district representative in this government, how do you expect this person to do or know anything in terms of healthcare?
All right, thank you, Anson.
Well, one more question for the Prime Minister. All right, let me ask, and I'll give it to you. Mr. Prime Minister, you are the best Prime Minister in the whole wide world. I want you to know that and give him a round of applause for that. He is the best. So, Mr. Prime Minister, my question to you here is how do you maintain your sanity after all those things you were doing for St. Lucian and so many of them on social media talking a pack of shit about you? Thank you.
Over to you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Sometimes the last question first. You mustn't believe social media is a lot of persons, you know. There are something called bots, B-O-T-S. And what they do is they put 5 or 6 people in a room with different names, and these people say the same thing. So you must never believe that what the opposition writes on social media is the feeling for the majority of people. That is just to influence people with this bot business, you understand? But thank you for what you say. We try our best. And once the people of St. Lucia are satisfied, the majority of people in St. Lucia are satisfied, and once I have that team, I want to lay credit to the team of men and women that I have working with me, including Stevenson King and Richard Fredericks. It's a team. We work as a team. I am not an I man, Marasta. I'm not an I man. You know these fellas, the I. I'm not an I man. I'm a team man. We have a team of men and women. We have some conscientious civil servants. We have some conscientious people in the diaspora, like the ambassador in New York and Jeremiah and the foreign minister keeping it locked. So it's a team. What we have is a team of men and women who are working for the advancement of St. Lucia.
Okay. Okay, quickly the agriculture question and then the healthcare question. I'll be very brief. The agriculture question, we have embarked on a number of programs to introduce new technology in agriculture. Just recently, we introduced at Union a hydroponic system, which will cause especially young people to be encouraged to go into hydroponics and so on. So you are correct, the days of green gold are over, and a lot of things have changed in terms of what people want. Most people think about the old days of coconut oil and the copper factory, but most people now want fresh coconut water. So that has changed too in St. Lucia. So we are doing our best to go with the changing landscape. Sea moss, for example, is growing in St. Lucia as an industry by itself. And we are giving a lot of support to the sea moss farmers. Quickly on the $75,000 health card, that is really bluff. And I want to tell you that when they were in government the last time, they were trying to ask insurance companies what would it cost to give health insurance, every single St. Lucian health insurance. And it's going to cost $2,017 per person if the companies would insure every single person in St. Lucia. All you have to do is to multiply 2017 by the population of St. Lucia, and you will get something like $360-something million per year. And they also told the insurance companies that they would mandate every single working St. Lucian to buy health insurance. So they are really bluffing when they say every St. Lucian will get a $75,000 health card. That's a bluff. Our proposal is universal health coverage, which is more than just health insurance. So what we are doing is different to what they are proposing, and what they are proposing really is a bluff, and we have the evidence for it.
Just quickly, Ms. Surface and Mr. Augustine, let's keep our questions as brief as possible because we need to get out of here. The NYPD needs to leave.
Okay. My message is dedicated to Mr. Frederick. Mr. Frederick, I went up north, me messenger Castui, ek me vie Castui, bo actual mangawe pon bao. What day was that? Some time ago, your then former Prime Minister made a statement to say that Philip J. Pierre gave him $100,000 for his constituency. He said that he thought that was the only money they were going to give him, but he gave it to him every quarter. A liar has no memory. How come now he's saying that Richard Frederick prevented him from, did not give him things for his constituency, when he said at a meeting on a radio thing that the Prime Minister never told him what to do with that money? He did what he wanted to do with it for his constituency. How Richard getting that now?
Not a question, but just a comment. I wanted to talk about the proposal to pay CXC fees. About 45 years ago, I had to pay my A-levels, and on the very last day, I had no money. I had to beg and scrape. So every time I hear about the government paying CXC fees, I know how important that is. Today I have a PhD, and I would not have had it if I did not make it to pay the CXC fees. And it's a real struggle for many young people. So I want to thank you. You've done a lot of great work, and you know where my heart stands when it comes to you. But that one is the dearest one to me, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, my sisters and my brothers, we have to obey the law. As I said, we are a law-abiding government, and then the authorities say that you must end. I'd love to stay with you longer, but the law is the law. I want to thank all my colleagues who are here. The Minister of External Affairs, Honorable Alva Baptiste, the Minister of Health, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, and the Minister of Housing, Honorable Richard Fredericks. All of us, as I said, very happy to be here, and we work as a team to bring everyone is important. Everyone does what they have to do to cause St. Lucia to progress. So I want to thank you. I want to also thank you for sending your money back home and for the barrels that you send back home. Your money is in good hands. Send it back home. And you have to look to buy a piece of land in St. Lucia as quick as you can. Because if you don't, people out of St. Lucia will buy all the land before you. So thank you very much. And as I say, you will know very soon the Monday. You'll get that very soon. Take care. Thank you very much. Get home safely. And I love you all.
All right. We want to invite the Folklore Cultural Organization on. Come on. We ask you guys to just stay put for the...
Seen this river cruise ad before? Beautiful cabins, great food, plush bar, only unpack once. Trafalgar.
Guys, refreshments are being served to the left. We now have a special prize. Refreshments are to the left. I also have a special announcement to make For persons who have children under 12 and under, there's a Christmas party for these kids taking place at the St. Lucia House on December 6th. Please register your child by sending an email to slndc2019@gmail.com. Once again, slndc2019@gmail.com. Or you could give me a call and I'll help you with that process. We also have our National Day celebration taking place on December 13th. Guys, we're asking everybody to show up. We have a big lunch competition. The price is $500 for the first prize. And we have additional prizes for second place, third place. Don't forget, this is hosted by St. Lucia National Day Committee. We are also collaborating with the Consul General or the Consulate General of St. Lucia, and of course the St. Lucia House Foundation and the management team of the house. We want to thank you guys so much for coming. We want to thank all of the volunteers, the caterers, the persons who made this event possible. We want to say thank you. We also want to say a big thank you to our Consul General, who has worked tirelessly to pull this together, him and his team. So we want to say a big, big thank you. Guys, as you head home, please be safe. We also want to thank Free FMG Productions for an amazing job. Thank you so very much. There's a gentleman here, Mr. Barlett. I want to say good night to you. Thank you for coming. Okay. Okay, guys, we need to form a line. The Secret Service is asking us to form a line back. Too many people are clouding the Prime Minister. We ask you guys to please form a line back. Thank you. Please, guys, form a line. Again, we want to thank everyone who came